Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and I'm bringing you Game 2 of Paul Chua against Thomas at Senior Top 4 Massachusetts Regional. So in Game 1, which I posted a few days ago, Paul basically ran through Thomas with his Mega Mawile. Thomas had no check to it, and Paul just kind of wrecked him with it. In that game, Thomas went for a Trick Room on the Reuniclus, so he revealed the Trick Room, but that actually ended up helping Paul more than anything. So let's see how both players adjust in this game. You'd anticipate Paul bringing Mawile again, but Paul brings, he has two Mega Pokemon. He actually has the Mega Kangaskhan on his team as well. So let's see if Paul actually switches up the Mawile for Kangaskhan. Thomas is going to go with the same leads as Game 1, Tyranitar and Reuniclus. Paul is going to switch it up this time. He's going to bring Kangaskhan instead of the Mawile. So he's going to go with Kangaskhan and Talonflame against Thomas's Tyranitar and Reuniclus. Last time we saw Talonflame does have the Choice Band U-turn, but in the first game, Thomas's Reuniclus just protected, and Paul lost his Talonflame right away, but he has Fake Out Pressure now. Tyranitar is going to go for the Protect this turn, so but Paul's just going to Fake Out the Reuniclus though, so great play there as he's going to get a free turn 1 basically in terms of damage. He did go for the U-turn into the Tyranitar, which is the safest play possible, because in the first game, the Tyranitar basically knocked it out, but that was a great turn for Paul, coming out basically free without any damage and getting a whole lot of damage onto that Reuniclus, around 45%. Reuniclus is going to Protect here now, but Paul was, this is a pretty obvious play, so Paul was going to predict that. He's going to U-turn the Tyranitar instead of the Reuniclus, so that Talonflame is going to switch out, most likely into something that's slow, and you see here Politoed is going to come in, so Paul's anticipating, alright, if Reuniclus doesn't Protect and goes for a Trick Room, I'll have a slow Pokemon to bring out. But since Reuniclus did go for the Protect, Paul basically makes a brilliant play here, as he double targets the Tyranitar, gets the Kangaskhan to +2, and he's going to take an early 4-3 lead with a +2 Mega Kangaskhan in this game. So even despite the fact that Paul didn't bring Mega Mawile, Kangaskhan is doing exactly what Paul needs him to do. Thomas is going to bring out Ferrothorn here though, and Ferrothorn's going to give Paul's team somewhat trouble, because he is running a semi-rain team, but he's got Talonflame in the back, so if he just plays smartly, he can knock out this Ferrothorn. He's just going to go for the KO on Reuniclus here, since Reuniclus protected, always a safe play, since there's chance of a double protect is only 33%, and it's not beneficial to go for it this early. Paul does go for the Scald onto Ferrothorn, and gets the burn, so that's huge. Burning Ferrothorn is always really, really good, and surprisingly that Ferrothorn doesn't have Lumberry, so you'd have to assume it has something like Rocky Helmet, but Lumberry has been one of the most common items on Ferrothorn, and without the Lumberry and that Ferrothorn being burned, Paul's basically pretty much got this locked up already. He's up 4-2. Thomas is going to bring out his own Mega Kangaskhan, but it's not going to do much here. It's got to Fake Out, basically. If he really wants any chance of winning, he's probably got to Fake Out the Kangaskhan and go for something like a Leech Seed. The Kangaskhan does go for the Fake Out here onto Paul's Kangaskhan, so that's good. It's going to flinch, but Thomas opting to just go for another Power Whip into the switched in Talonflame, and Thomas really needs this Kangaskhan fainted at this point, because otherwise it's just going to roll through his team. He's already up 4-2, he can't afford to lose anything more. Ferrothorn's going to Protect here, anticipating a Flare Blitz onto it, but Paul's Kangaskhan is just going to go for a Sucker Punch onto Thomas's Kangaskhan at +2, does around 75%. Paul makes another brilliant play, double targeting the Kangaskhan. He says, I don't care about Ferrothorn, I have enough Pokemon to deal with it. He's going to pick up the KO here on Kangaskhan, and with the 4-1 lead, it's basically insurmountable, and that's going to be a win for Paul Chua. Even better play than the first game. This time he didn't even have to bring Mawile, but once he got that Kangaskhan to +2, that basically sealed up the game for him. Paul's going to go for a Sucker Punch up here though, and that's going to knock out the Ferrothorn right away. Shows the Iron Barbs, and it does indeed have that Rocky Helmet item, showing why I didn't have a Lumberry early on. So that's it. That's it for this series, guys. I have a bunch more sets I plan on upload, and I'll see you next time. Alright, stay tuned for those, and peace.